Hello, friends. Today's topic is being a cop. Let's rant.
All right, I'm getting straight into it. Tips for new officers, right? Tip number one, check your ego at clock in. I'm talking about as soon as you throw this uniform on, check your ego. Because a lot of times people put on this uniform and for some reason they super power trip or feel like they ain't invincible. Like somebody won't put them paws on them because they out here talking crazy and power tripping. Listen, it's a 50-50 split to me. Either people love us or people hate us. Don't be that officer who reinforces negative stereotypes in the community, right? Like, your suit is not made out of vibranium, my boy. You will get dealt with. Trust me. Like, check your ego, bro. Like, you don't got to talk to people crazy because you're the police. You don't got to be super demanding. Learn how to talk to people. That's the key. Check your ego. Even if somebody arguing back and forth with you, bro, they're having a bad day, bro. They talking to the police, bro. They don't want to talk to you. They already thinking they getting in trouble. They already on defense mode. Bro, bring them down to your level. Most people, if you talk to them calm, respectfully, even if they cussing you out, talking about saying some of the worst stuff, if you stay in calm, cool, collective, by the end of your conversation, they finna be calm, cool, collective with you. And they gonna always remember you for that, like, for being respectful to them, for, understanding their point, letting them get that frustration off. Because it may not even be frustration at us. They might just be having a bad day and they just happen to get pulled over by you, and now they just letting it all go. You know what I mean? So remain a professional, check your ego, and do your job. Like, that's what you got to do. Like, and your job don't always involve with trying to pull somebody out the car, throw them in cuffs, or whatever the case may be. Do your job, remain a professional, and check your ego.
I want to be a police officer after I finish college. As a woman, what issues may I face or need to overcome as an officer? So, I've gotten this question a lot, and I do really like it. The major one that I would say that you're going to have to face and kind of overcome it is that a lot of people think that women don't belong in law enforcement, so you kind of get a lot of hate. And people think that you're not equipped enough to do your job. So that being said, they don't necessarily always take you seriously because they don't think that you're equipped to do the job. You're a female, so they don't think that you're intelligent enough or strong enough or whatever it may be. They just don't think that you have what it takes to be a police officer. So I've said this before, and I'm going to reiterate it again. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and I personally just don't agree with the opinion that women don't belong in law enforcement. So if you just show up, focus on your job, do your job the best you can, you should be fine. Another thing is, just know you will never be one of the guys on the... And by that, I just mean, like, you'll never be seen as one of the guys. You'll never fit in as one of the guys necessarily. So just focus on finding the females in this career and making a friendship with them.
12-hour shifts? What the police even do all day?
My day actually began in roll call. I get the roll call just before 6 a.m. During roll call, the supervisor's gonna, kind of check out our uniforms, make sure we squared away and got all our equipment and everything. Then they're gonna kind of go over things that happened the night before and talk about things that are to come, be it, something we're gonna be doing in the street or things that are going on with the department in its entirety, I guess. After roll call is over, I'll leave out of the room. I'll go find the person that drove my vehicle the night before me. See, we don't have take-home vehicles. We have shared vehicles. This vehicle is on the road 24 hours a day. So I'll find a person that drove the vehicle overnight, get the keys from that person. Then I'll go to the vehicle and give it a thorough check. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure all the emergency equipment is functioning properly. I'm going to make sure there's no new damage to the vehicle since the last time I drove it. After that, I begin to prep my paperwork. By prep my paperwork, we got this form. It's called a daily activity sheet, where we write down all our calls for service on it. By prep it, I just put my, go over the top, put my name in, date, what beat I'm working and what vehicle I'm driving, and the mileage. We keep track of the mileage every day so we can keep up with necessary service appointments. We operate on a tough book, and about those calls, there's an area where my calls of service are logged. The sheet that I fill out is just an additional layer of protection of keeping track of everything. That way, wherever I've been, can be accounted for. At that point, I'm pretty much ready to begin my tour of duty, my patrol. Ride around the area, just kind of give the beat a few rounds or whatever, and then I start addressing things that they may have given to us in roll call. For instance, citizen complaints. They have community meetings in the city, and sometimes they tell us about issues that are concerns in the neighborhood. One big thing to them is abandoned vehicles, inoperable vehicles parked along the roadway. So we'll get these little orange stickers right here. Y'all probably seen broke down cars with stickers on the windows. It's kind of like, we'll give them a certain period of time to get it situated, or we'll come back and, have it towed. And then there are times we'll post up and run radar. Same thing. Could come from a citizen complaint that, hey, they speed through this area a lot, or we know that when school is in, kids walking in the area, so we'll sit there and run radar and make sure nobody's speeding through the area, make sure cars are properly stopping when the buses stop. Now, between those things, we're still answering calls for service, and those calls for service, open up a whole nother can of worms of things that we do. But that was just a bare minimum of what we do on a daily basis. No 2 days are the same, but it was hard to get everything into a short TikTok video. This video already have gone longer than I planned to, but if anybody got any specific questions, questions about anything specifically, let me know and I'll dig deeper into that.
Pretty cool to hear from cops' point of view. What do you think?
Here are 3 reasons why I became a police officer. My first reason is my grandfather had a great influence on me. He was a police officer back in the day. Number 2, as cliche as this may sound, I genuinely want to help people. And number 3, so back when I was a teenager, I had a few run-ins with law enforcement, and they were not very good. I lived in a very upper middle class neighborhood, and my family was the only Hispanic family who lived there. So on numerous occasions, I was called on being quote unquote suspicious and matching the description because I was just walking to the beach. So I took the negative experiences and turned them into positive ones, or at least I try to. And those are my reasons why I'm a police officer.
So I get some variation of a question like this just about every single day. So I figured I would just go into more depth with it while I get ready for my day. I also want to put a disclaimer out there and just say, I get a lot of mixed reviews when I do law enforcement type content. So when I post in uniform, of course, there's going to be people who talk about it in a negative way or say, go do your job, you're not, whatever. And people try to think that they just like they've got me for posting. Like, it's like, oh, we got her. She did it for attention. Look at this, cringe, whatever. It's a thirst trap because she's in leggings and a t-shirt. All of the feedback like that. It's kind of interesting because, one, social media is a popularity contest. Like, you want attention, you want people to look at your page, especially if you're doing social media and you get paid for it, if it's outside employment, or if you're doing something to help grow your business, which I am. So there's so many fitness coaches. There's like millions of fitness coaches, but not very many of them are police officers. So that's my niche. Not that many police officers are women. So that's another niche for me. So of course, I'm going to use those things that help me stand apart to grow my fitness business. So that's why, of course, I'm going to post law enforcement content so I can relate to other police officers, so I can relate to men more. And all of those things bring more gravitation and traction to my pages, and then thus forth grow my fitness business. Also, there's not many police officers who take care of themselves throughout their career. So having a lot of police officers and coworkers who come to me for fitness advice is extremely beneficial and extremely rewarding, which I love. I love being able to help other cops find balance with this career. Getting back into the actual question, so it's going to depend really greatly on your department. So if your department is super, super busy, you're not going to be able to be doing as much of what you want to do if you're going to a bunch of calls. So of course, it's going to be different for every single agency. It's going to be dependent on how big you are, what your boss's expectations are of you. In my personal experiences, I've worked in larger suburban areas, a larger suburban area, and now that I moved to the southern states, I'm in a smaller suburban area. It's not too much smaller, but our shift coverage is about half of that from what I was used to. So in comparison, if we have one busier call, we're not going to be able to really do what we want to do until, of course, we're finished with that situation, finished helping our coworkers with what happened, or finishing, processing somebody on our own. It depends. So every single shift is different. So if you like, or you think you'll like, a work environment that is kind of like different every single day and a different pace and something that you won't exactly be able to predict, then this might be a good career field for you. I personally like routine, but I also think I like the disruption in routine that I get with law enforcement, because it's something like, I don't know, it just changes up my day, Every single day I do the same type of thing, and then when I go to work, I might do something I've never done before in my career, and I get to learn something brand new. Another thing I really want to touch base on is just having priorities outside of work that you can actually focus on and not be like stressing out all the time. So healthy habits, spend time with your family, go to the gym, go on a long walk. Don't be thinking about how much your boss sucks, how much you could have done better on that situation, how much you don't like your coworkers. All of those situations are just going to make your work life worse. Realistically, you don't spend as much quality time at work as you do at home. Obviously, you're going to be making more memories at home, or you should be at least. You should be prioritizing yourself, your loved ones, those relationships that you have outside of work. That's all I really want to touch on for this video. I'm just going to keep it super brief. Basically, if you guys have other questions that are law enforcement specific, I can make a short video or another long Q&A, and I'll save some of them up. But go ahead and leave some more comments down below of what you guys want to hear.
Listen, if you want to be a cop, I think I have some tips and advice for you, so let's get into it. Number one thing, sit down and think about whether or not this is something you actually want to do. Things to consider are the pay, things you may see, working holidays and overnights. It's something to think about. If you're getting into law enforcement just for the money, it's probably not the job for you. You need to have a reason. Second off, if you've met the minimum qualifications, go do some ride-alongs. It's one of the best ways to establish a relationship with the department you may be looking to be employed by. And you get that first-hand experience of what it's actually about. Now, academy. How do I actually get certified? How do I get hired? Well, here's some things that might make you a more favorable applicant. Having a degree, although it's not necessary in most places, and working other jobs that are relative to law enforcement, like dispatch, corrections, armed security, and making sure that you have common sense, good morals, and good integrity. You have those things, you're on the right path. Now, when it comes to academy, I'm in Kansas, which means I have to be sponsored to go to academy. So I have to actually be employed by a department, then they send me to academy. Some other states, you can self-sponsor, which is basically like paying for a college tuition to go. I've never done that, so maybe some people in the comments can help you guys out. For the officers in the same state as you, when you go on those ride-alongs, you ask those questions. But that's about it. If anybody else wants to leave some advice down below in the comments, feel free to. And good luck to everybody out there who wants to do this career.
Must be hard being a cop. So many people you have to deal with and the issues you have to solve. Too much stress. What do you think? Comment down below, and thank you for watching until next time.